single mother. Those two words by itself spark up so many negative connotations that it's almost unbearable and uncomfortable to talk about at times. The woman births a nation, comes close to death when birthing a nation, and although this might seem very superficial to say, loses her once felt figure after giving birth, and her body is never the same as it was before. She nurtures households, gives, and is expected to not expect anything in return, compromises her mental health for her family, is expected to balance everything while maintaining a feminine charm. She's brutally criticized for expressing her thoughts, for she's being too emotional. There's different spectrums as to why a woman becomes a single mother. There's not a one-size-fits-all description of one. You have the once married woman who gave it all up when it came to her family. She put their needs ahead of hers. She cooked, cleaned, nurtured, and raised her children, supported her husband, and put all of her dreams on the back end, provided him emotional support, had sex with him as many times as he would like to satisfy his sexual needs. And sometimes that's just never enough. Sometimes in her husband's eyes, she still isn't enough, even after all that she has sacrificed. This is in no way to shame men, but we're just going to speak truth here. Men step out, men cheat, men can be very selfish. A woman can do everything in the world for her family while doing splits that still will not keep a man from being deviant. What does cheating do? It causes turmoil, disruption, mistrust, ill feelings. The relationship can become very staticky. Whether you're a male or female, I think somewhere along the lines, if you were someone getting cheated on, that may cause some kind of insecurity inside. You may even question if you're good enough. Is he still attracted to me? Am I cooking, cleaning, catering to him? Being supportive enough? Yes, and yes. Some men change for the better after their mistakes, but a lot of times this isn't reality. He might even ask for a divorce. That's when the once married woman becomes single. She's also a mother. Single mother. Oftentimes society, or I like to say, a plethora of toxic ingrates, I'm not specifying male or female because women are doing this too, the bashing of the single mother. They go on these rants and tirades about how the single mother is this, the single mother is that, and she needs to take accountability. She's no good. Stay away from her and her spoiled brats. She's on welfare. She keeps having babies to stay on welfare. Her priorities are out of order. Oh, and yeah, here's one of the funny ones. All she's going to want to do is want you to take care of those kids and spend your money that you don't have. I could forever go on about this. This world is so programmed that it's really scary because no one thinks for themselves anymore. There's many dynamics to the single mother, and those dynamics aren't always mixed with ratchet behavior. Stop watching so much TV and believe half of what you see. There are the single mothers that are ratchet, that fit those kind of stereotypes. Then you have the divorced single mothers, widowed single mothers. You even have single mothers by choice who would just rather have a sperm donor than to put up with the bullshit. And I can't say that I blame them. Then you have someone like me. I was with someone for almost 7 years, loved him dearly. I was 21 and him 27 at the time. No, I was not married to him, but I oftentimes brought marriage up. It was always an excuse of why he couldn't or now is not the right time. More things to lie about. Anyway, me being younger than him and not having much dating experience before him except for having a high school sweetheart, I was a little naive. And although I loved him, I also felt sorry for him. He had no one in his corner, and now I see exactly why. Throughout the entire relationship, he always lied, was a cheater, had many allegations against him. It was just a mess. Still, I had so much empathy for him. Remember when I explained earlier that the married woman supported her husband in so many ways? That was me, except I wasn't married. Pretty much thinking about him more than I to stay in a relationship with someone because I felt sorry for them. If I could speak to my younger self, I would have told her what the future beholds and you want no parts. Let his ass go and stop feeling sorry for others more than yourself. Almost 7 years down the road, I had my baby girl Lilith and got rid of his ass. Lilith was my blessing, my reason for living, my everything, my toot toot, my beautiful baby girl. She makes it all worth it. But she's also a strong reminder to not go down that path again. I joke all the time and say, who needs birth control? Lilith is birth control. Shit, I learned my lesson. I also hear this bashing going around from either those who never had children and those who have children but do not take care of them. I can't say I wish karma on them, but the universe has a funny way of making you the butt of its joke. There is something I do want to say. Before you go on all these rants and have all this hate in your heart for single mothers, remember this. A lot of you were raised by single mothers who had to put their brave face on all the time while they were suffering internally. A lot of you had single mothers who had more balls than your so-called fathers and should have gotten more physical discipline because it's obvious you have no respect for anyone, including yourself. To all of my single mamas out there doing a damn thing, you're the MVP. You're beautiful inside and out. You're a fighter, a nurturer, teacher, a haven, and you're the king and queen because a lot of times you have to be mom and dad. This is sometimes the reason for the masculinity in us today. You're a hero in my eyes and can nobody take that shit away from you. Keep going. I love you. Signed, a single mama, Jonna.